When the Pharisees heard that Jesus had silenced the Sadducees, they gathered together, and one of them, a lawyer, asked him a question to test him. "Teacher, which commandment in the law is the greatest?" Jesus said to him, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the greatest and first commandment. And a second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets." Happy Tuesday of Holy Week, Village Church. I hope you are feeling the sacredness of this space. A few years ago, I was at the closing worship service for a conference I was attending in Texas. The preacher was giving the benediction, the closing blessing for the hour, and he ended it with this: "Go into the world and be love to everyone you meet. It's just that simple, and it's just that hard." It's just that simple, and it's just that hard. I feel like that's the perfect summary of this passage from the Gospel according to Matthew. The Pharisees are up to their usual questioning and attempts to trick Jesus. "Teacher, which commandment in the law is the greatest?" You see, the Pharisees were the lawyer type of people, so they would care deeply about the answer to this question because they interpret the law pretty seriously. And essentially, what Jesus responds to the Pharisees is that the greatest commandment is to love. It's just that simple, and it's just that hard. It will mean loving our God with all of our heart, soul, and mind. And it will mean loving our neighbor as we love ourselves. Friends, in a time when loving our neighbor seems to be increasingly harder to do, in a time when loving our neighbor means having to take risks, in a time when loving our neighbor means reminding ourselves that all people are our neighbors, regardless of how close they live to us. In this time, we must remember how easy and hard it can be to love all of God's people. It's the greatest commandment for a reason, and the trickery of the Pharisees was met with a simple answer that is at the heart of the entire gospel and Christian message. Loving people has always been the most important thing. It's just that simple, and it's just that hard.